everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm watching Dawson's Creek, Season 1, Episode 11. We are in the home stretch.
Mm-hmm.
This one's called The Scare.
It was dumb.
It's pretty dumb.
It was really dumb.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty dumb. So, it's Friday the 13th, which apparently in Cape Side, or at least in Dawson's brain, is a national holiday. He is going all out, scaring everybody, left, right, and center, all day, every day. It's really annoying. It's like, but it also feels like April Fool's Day pranks. Like, it doesn't feel like it's scary.
I don't know. They're just like snakes and bugs and...
Yeah. Like a fake finger. He also... Yeah. You seem to think this is okay, but he squirts ketchup all over his french fries.
That's how I do it to mine. I don't go that heavy, but I do this.
Because so does... It was Pacey that made me, like, shout.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so each one has some ketchup on it, and then if you get like a little too much on an area, then you pick out one that doesn't have a lot of ketchup, and then you dip it in the extra messy one.
It's like playing pickup sticks with your french fries. No, it's like a little plop of ketchup on the side, and you dip, and that way you know exactly how much you get every time.
I don't know. I like to live on the dangerous side. Sometimes I get a lot of ketchup, sometimes I don't.
Unacceptable. It's like...
I don't know why that weirds you out so much.
It's horrible!
Just drizzle it on top.
No, never.
But okay, so if you're eating like a caprese salad or something, do you like dip your mozzarella in balsamic vinegar, or do you like the drizzle?
That's a whole different food category.
No, you still eat it with your fingers.
Not necessarily.
A lot of the time you eat it with your fingers.
I have never eaten a caprese salad with my fingers.
Oh, okay. I'm trash.
You also don't like tomatoes, so you're just eating mozzarella.
I know, which is good. I like it.
Cliff also asks Jen out for another date. And she's like, sure, I guess. And then he is like immediately so out of his own head about like how to take Jen on a date, even though he's already done it twice.
Yeah.
That he has to decide to ask Dawson for advice on what to do on this date with Jen. And because he's been scaring everybody, but not Jen, she's like a little butthurt about it. Cause she's like, do I just like, am I like nothing anymore? Like what's going on? I kind of get her side of it. Cause she's like, you're the one that wanted to be friends. I'm not even friends anymore. Like you're not dating Joey. You're not dating Pacey. You're scaring them. Why won't you scare me? You feel like feels left out. I kind of get it, regardless.
But also, she doesn't like to be scared. So if I were Jen, which is I am Jen, I don't like to be scared. So I'd be like, cool, I'm off the hook.
Thank you for that. So I guess he ends up telling Cliff to like scare the absolute shit out of Jen because he calls and does a whole ghost face thing about like, where are you? Where's your grandfather? Is everything okay? So Jen's walking around with this like foot-long knife, and she like
just like out here,
and she like maybe stepped on Gramps' dentures, and like we're not sure.
Black pills,
and pills, a bunch of pills. So yeah, it's just like it's like really insane. And then there's also a note in her locker that says you're gonna die tonight, and it's super crazy. And then like at the end when she realizes that it was Cliff, he like is so proud of himself.
Yeah.
Which on the one hand, it's like, yeah, you executed that beautifully, actually. You like really did it.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, like you're trying to date this girl.
I don't know.
You're her only natural predator.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh God. So in addition to that, at the beginning, Joey and Dawson are watching I Know You Did Last Summer. And it's like the Sarah Michelle Gellar scene, which is great. They probably had like already had permission to use that because she was also on the WB, something like that. So yeah, that was also fun. Joey does not like being scared either, but that does not seem to deter Dawson. He just keeps doing it to her.
I hate people like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, just listen to me, please. I'm not saying it to be like cute. Like,
no.
Oh, I don't like
I hate being scared.
No, I fucking hate it because I respond with violence.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling.
You're going to catch those hands if you do it.
Yes. Listen, my friend Jessie learned the hard way.
You pushed her out the door.
I did, because she tried to scare me. And so we were leaving her house, and she lived in the middle of Amish country in the middle of nowhere. And we were leaving to go to the store. and she opened the door and like went like that, like there's something on there. I Heismaned her forward and then took off running to go to her bedroom where I knew there was an unlocked window and was gonna go jump out the fucking window. And she thought it was so funny, and she was like, now I know how you view our friendship. And I was like, listen, if it comes down to it, it's you or me, it's gonna be me every time. Okay? So
it's fine.
Yep.
They decide to have this seance, which is what Cliff ends up taking Jen to Dawson's for this seance. And so Dawson, Joey, and Pacey are going to buy snacks at the convenience store. And there's this couple, Ursula and like Eddie, having just like a full domestic in the convenience store. Really loud shouting, lots of threats of violence.
There was shoving.
Some shoving, yeah. It's not great.
No.
It's pretty bad. And so Pacey, because he doesn't have a brain in his head, only in his dick, he like invites her to come with them, and she offers to get them wine and then just puts it in her bag. So there's also one bottle of wine. There's like 6 people involved in this party.
I don't know. Maybe they're going the communion route where everyone just gets like a little teeny tiny bit.
Well, so like 3 of them are not drinkers, but like Jen knows how to handle her booze and drugs.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, Pacey's 15. They're all still 15. I can't stress that enough. I also can't stress how much like almost none of this sticks.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
We never bring it up again. So yeah, then her boyfriend Eddie ends up coming back, and they just like escape in the car, and then the whole rest of the time he's like peeping at them, like there's like someone watching from the bushes. We got like POV camera of that. And a creepy guy comes up and talks to Joey, asks for directions while she's waiting in the car by herself. And spoiler alert, he ends up being the lady killer, who is like the sort of crux of, not really the crux, but he's like in the background of the whole episode. He's just like seems kindly, but he's so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember if I was fooled by it the first time I watched this episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, the older that you get and the more things like this you watch, the more sophisticated you are, like, looking for the clues and stuff. So it's like, I don't know if when I was, like, by the time I watched this, like, 14 or 15, if I was like, well, it couldn't have been that kindly man that asked for directions. But now I'm just like, it's obviously him.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very Ted Bundy-esque kind, because he's so friendly. Well, outwardly.
Your eyes are so piercing.
Well, they're brown. Brown eyes aren't piercing. I'm just because
I got lost in your eyes.
I have the same but opposite issue, because Ralph Fiennes plays Heathcliff in the Wuthering Heights adaptation that was in the 90s or whatever, and I hate it because I don't think blue eyes can brood.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, Heathcliff is not a piercing eyes kind of man. He is a brooding eyes kind of man.
He needs like cloudy gray eyes, if not super dark eyes.
Yeah. And I just was like, I love Ralph Fiennes. I think he's great. He has got piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So when it's like, your eyes are so intense, and I'm like, they're just brown. Like, she's also so cute. She like doesn't have like a lot of like overt sex appeal, especially not in season 1. So it's just very odd to me. So yeah, they end up doing this like whole thing. Ursula is like a nutball.
Crazy putty.
Such crazy putty. Her eyebrows are as thin as her grasp on reality. and I should have said that the other way. Her grasp on reality is as thin as her eyebrows. But so she like gets scared by a couple of things a couple times, and she screams bloody murder, and then like pauses for a second, and then just goes, ah, it's so funny, and like it's really weird. She's also still kind of trying to like fuck Pacey.
I don't know what she's doing.
It's really weird.
But she definitely called Joey and Dawson.
She did, yeah.
Because it's obvious to everyone except Dawson.
Because Pacey gives Joey a hard time in this episode too. She says something about his taste in women, which, fair. It's bad. And so he's like, that's rich coming from you, who's totally in love with Dawson, and he is still just as clueless as ever, which I kind of feel like some of these episodes aired out of order.
Really?
Yes, because specifically the description in this episode, it says Jen is asked out by a friendly jock named Cliff. We've met Cliff 3 times already.
Yeah, wow.
So I think this should have aired sooner.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Like, I feel kind of, I have no basis for this, but I kind of feel like this was supposed to air in the fall, and then it got pushed to a mid-season.
Oh.
So they jangled it all up a little. And, like, I don't have any, like, actual proof of that, but that's what it feels like, kind of. Yeah, okay. Despite being listed as the 11th episode, this episode is actually listed as 10 on the DVD, and seems to come before the episode listed as 10 because of the order of Jen's relationship with Cliff.
Gotcha.
So I just sort of, because this is like supposed to be a Halloween episode, but it's airing in May. So I kind of feel like if we shift it back and then shift this episode like around a little, so like maybe this is the first time we're meeting Cliff, or like the second time we're meeting Cliff. Like, you know, we've had him in the film class, but like Jen hasn't fully interacted with him yet. I don't know. It's just like, it feels out of order. And they used to do that a lot, especially with sitcoms, but also with stuff like this. What else? Yeah. So Ursula totally calls the Joey and Dawson thing, and he's just like, no, we just have this really intense friendship. And she's like, cool, she's in love with you. Like, obviously. So yeah, Eddie like tries to break back in the house, and I mean, he does. He breaks into the house, and Joey kind of nails him with like a cast iron skillet. Yeah. Like a handful of times in the head. And then Ursula, it's a very bad look, especially now. Because she's like, oh, baby, it's okay. Like, you're just, like, violently entering this home. And she's, like, also throwing Pacey at her, like, he's my new man.
Kick your ass. And it's just so weird. This episode was so weird.
It was so weird. So, like, that's mostly it. Joey and Jen end up playing a prank on Dawson then, where Joey falls dead out of the closet with, like, he's got, like, movie blood all over the house, so it's like, and he like doesn't like it, and so he goes away to pout, and she's like, are you kidding? You can dish it, but you can't take it. And so then at the end of the episode, he's like, you dying isn't a prank, it would be like the worst thing that ever happened to me, and like I would just like stop existing or whatever. And I'm like, just good friends. I say that to all my really good friends.
I would be inconsolable.
Yeah.
But then he was like, would you cry if I died? And she's just like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, she's in love with you, of course.
We would throw a party.
If Dawson died?
Yes.
Yeah.
Be like...
Not if I died.
No more. No. Like, no more Dawson. Yeah. I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting it up for this episode, so I'm very sorry.
It's not very good.
This was very lackluster, and I feel very lackluster in response to it.
That is basically the end of it, though. Yeah. Like, Cliff walks Jen home. Also, Grams is, like, obsessed with Cliff.
Do you want to talk about getting it hard up for somebody? Grams has got it hard up for Cliff.
Well, he's, like, good stock, apparently, and I'm like, 15. It's 15.
Because he goes to church.
Yeah, gross. So yeah, it's like a whole thing. That's basically it.
Oh, Jen and Dawson almost kiss again.
They did.
I want to get off this carousel so badly. I want to be done. And we're not done.
Sorry.
Disgusting. I'm just over it. I'm exhausted.
It's not great.
No.
It's not my favorite thing. So yeah, that's it. Mediocre episode. It's like, again, how a lot of season ones do. It's a lot of standalone episodes. There's not like a humongous through line in this one because it can kind of go anywhere. But yeah, we're gonna go watch the next one, and we'll be back. It's slightly better, but also upsetting in different ways. So
great.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.